Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back. This is Myra with In Divine Time Tarot. I am coming to you guys today with a channeled message and also a kind of plan to walk us through how to finish out the rest of 2025, leading into a super lucky year for 2026. And this is specifically for my Tigers because we are heading into the year of the fire horse, which is our lucky year, people. So if you want to know how to best prepare for this new year, how you can get the best out of it, definitely stay tuned. If you follow me on TikTok, which you should, at Myra Reeves, somewhere here on the screen, I did a little video today where I kind of talked about the significance of the amount of time that we have from this day, so November 22nd, 2025, until the end of the Gregorian calendar, which is December 31st, 2025. Now, when I was in meditation, I was just writing, and then the 40 days and 40 nights just popped into my mind. I told y'all how this happens before when I'm writing and I'm channeling at the same time. So let's just dive into this. So I was like, okay, 40 days and 40 nights. Now, I grew up as a Christian, just, letting y'all know, laying the stage. So I knew that there was a significance with 40 days and 40 nights across multiple different types of religious and spiritual beliefs. Now, I also follow numerology. So I knew that 40 breaks down to 4. And with the number 4, that number brings stability. That number brings routine. That number brings a new foundation. All of the things that we would need in order to be able to step into the new phase of our life with a good, solid foundation under us, right? This is what we need. Now, let's roll it back to the 40 days and 40 nights that came up when I was channeling. So I wrote some notes down because it's quite a bit. So I'm going to just point out some significant things that occurred during the 40 days and 40 nights. And I believe this is why I was told this. So during the 40 days and the 40 nights, there was the Noah flood, right? Noah's flood that had occurred where it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And then there was Moses, who fasted for 40 days and 40 nights when he was on Mount Sinai receiving the 10 Commandments. And then there was Jesus, who wandered in the wilderness after his baptism for 40 days and 40 nights where he was tempted by the devil, right? Then there was also Prophet Elijah, who took the journey to Mount Horeb, and he traveled for 40 days and 40 nights. So the last detail, which is probably the most significant one, is Jesus' appearance after his resurrection. So Jesus appeared to his disciples 40 days after his resurrection, before his ascension into heaven. So the significance of everyone that I just named, from Noah to Jesus to Moses to Elijah, all of these people have a thread that brings their stories all together. If we think about their journey throughout their 40 days and 40 nights, each of them were going through a significant period in their lives, a period where they had to completely release their old identities and shift into who they were supposed to be, their new identities of who they were becoming. And throughout that process, they were going through freaking pure chaos, right? From Noah being trapped in the ark with the animals and his family, and trusting that God would deliver him and his family and all of the animals on board through this storm, to Moses fasting for the 40 days and 40 nights, and Jesus walking through the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights and being tempted and tested by the devil. There were so many instances within those stories that we can see how they were tested, how they had to surrender and give their trust over and allow things to unfold and know that they were going to make it through to the other side. And it's no different for us. We are going through our own story of our 40 days and 40 nights. And we need to realize that it does have an end. It does have an end, and we will be rewarded, just like Moses, just like Jesus, just like Elijah, just like Noah. We are going to come to the point where we're able to step into that new period of our lives with this new foundation that we have after moving through and stripping down the identities and the titles and the things and everything that is holding us back from starting fresh and brand new and having this new transformation. Now, for the remaining 40 days of this year, if you have not been doing the work, if you have not been breaking down the ego, if you have not been, I don't want to say disassociating, but disattaching from the idea that you are whatever your job title is, whatever labels that you have associated yourself and have tied your self-worth to those things. If you have not been doing the healing work, the things that you know that you need to do in order to be able to move into the next phase of your life, letting things go that no longer serve you. These next 40 days of the end of the year could be extremely hard for some people if they have not been doing the work, but you still want to kind of like reap the rewards of this upcoming year, 2026. Or it could kind of be, uncomfortable, but you have gotten to the point where you accept what is going on and realize that the idea of having the control that you thought you had, you don't really have, and you've surrendered to it. Surrender is the perfect word. You have surrendered to it, and you're just ready to start whatever it is, whatever this new life is. And I'm going to give you guys an exact example of what I'm talking about using myself and my business. So before we hop into my personal business and the example that I said I was going to give, I want to talk a little bit more about the year of the tiger and why 2026 will be so pivotal for people that were born in the year of the tiger. And again, the year of the tiger, the years are 2022, 2010, 1998, 86, 74, 62, 1950, and 1938. Now, there are different elements that are associated with the year of the tiger. The same way there are different elements associated with if you are an Aquarius or a Pisces, right? So the elements for Chinese astrology are kind of different from the elements of traditional Western astrology, which is air, water, fire, and water. And Chinese astrology, it's wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. So depending on which month you were born in, that's what element you would be associated with. So me specifically, I am a fire tiger. That is my thing. That's what I am. And it doesn't surprise me at all because in my Western chart, I'm a Leo rising and my chart is ruled by the sun, which is fire. But in Chinese astrology, you have your signs that you kind of like mesh with, you get along with, the same as you do with in Western astrology. And then you have your signs that it's kind of like it's very much conflict. In some instances, you have it can be called your enemy sign or your enemy year. So for me, my enemy would be someone that was born in the year of the monkey, or someone that is born in the year of the snake, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it doesn't mean that I can't possibly have a friendship with these people or a relationship with someone that was born in the year. It just means that there could be conflict within that. I dated someone that I didn't know was a monkey, and there was definitely conflict. So yeah, I can confirm that this is true. For my people that I'm, close to, according to the Chinese astrology, that would be someone that is a horse, a dog, or a pig. Y'all gonna have to look up the years. I'm not a Chinese astrologer. I just know some information from reading some things. The year of the horse is a very, very, very lucky year for the tigers, especially my fire tigers. But it also very much depends on if you have been doing the work. because this year is 2026, excuse me, is going to be the momentum for finances, the momentum for new opportunities, the momentum for tremendous growth, travel, fresh starts, and also amplification of things. So, if you have not been putting in the work, and by putting in the work, I mean letting go of things that no longer serve you, shedding old identities, making peace, surrendering, letting go of control, and you think that you're going to bring that same energy and those same issues into 2026, baby, they are only going to be amplified. And you don't want that kind of, you don't want that. You don't want to block your blessings. You want to walk into this new year with your shit handled. So, with that being said, this is why these last 40 days and 40 nights, is so important for us to be able to make sure that we are doing the work that we need to do, so that when we step into 2026, we're stepping in with the energy of this new year, of this new prosperous, lucky 2026. 2026. Girl, that was too many 20s. 2026, so that we can live it up in this new abundance that we have earned, that we have been waiting for. Because, baby, half of 2024 and the whole of 2025 has been rough, right? And especially for my tigers. So now on to the juicy bit, right? My personal life. Now, like I told you guys, I just want to be transparent, because I want you to know that I am not talking to you from a place of, oh, she doesn't get where we're coming from. She doesn't know our struggle. She doesn't know that I lost my job or my house, or I don't know, whatever it is. I want y'all to know that I am here with you. Back in March, and I think, I don't know if I said this before, but back in March, I was a six-figure earner. I have a nice car. I travel often. I, with 2 kids, domestic and internationally. I lived in a very well-to-do neighborhood, and it was just, that was my life. And so I had stability for myself, for my children. And the funny thing is that before I was laid off from my job, I was already looking for something else. I did not feel aligned with my current position, and the universe was just like, okay, well. And so then, all of the layoffs started happening for the tech industry. They started in March. And I mean, they started before then, but like massively, they started in March of this year, 2025. And I was fortunate enough to be able to have a decent amount, a very nice, cushy amount of savings. And the economy just plummeted into the depths of HEW hockey sticks, and those savings went pretty fast. I had to dip into my 401k, and those types of things, they definitely affect you, and they affected me. So I am downsizing now. I'll talk to you guys more about that later, but I am downsizing right now to be able to afford my life. And when I tell you that this experience has been not only the most humbling experience that I've had, but it's like someone giving you a fresh piece of paper and telling you, go ahead and just write whatever you want your story to be. But in order for me to give you this fresh piece of paper and for you to start all over again, I'm going to need you to take the piece of paper that you have right now, the one with all of your titles and your accolades and all of these other things, and I'm going to need you to ball it up and throw it in the trash. You can't save anything from it. You can't tear off a little snippet of the paper from the bottom. The whole entire thing, ball it up and throw it away. And they promise you that whatever you write on this new piece of paper is going to come true. That's what it feels like. But like most people, you have doubts. You have doubts that, oh, well, what if I, ball up this piece of paper and tear it up? And then what I'm writing here doesn't come true. And so there was a time when I was kind of like almost sort of living in between that space. But also I have experienced so many transformations in my life that I know that it's going to happen. So I finally balled up that piece of paper and I threw it in the trash because it no longer serves me. And I also know that whatever is in store for me beyond what I have written down on this fresh sheet of paper is going to be way more than I could have ever thought of myself. And I only know this, one, because of my faith and because of my trust in the divine and also my spiritual gifts, but also the fact that I have been through so many transformations in my life, and this is just another one. And at some point, I'm going to go through another one. And so I've learned that when I release, I leave room to receive. And that receiving is always way more than I could have imagined. So I'm saying all this to say, my tigers, these next 40 days are meant for us to do the work. I challenge you to do shadow work, right? Release that trauma, release those titles, those labels, things that you think that you are defined by, people, places, things, whatever it is, because this coming year, this 2026 year is going to be one of our most abundant years. And in order for us to be able to step into this, we have to release our old identity. We have to take a chance. Take that new fresh piece of paper and write the story that we want to be our new lives, and ball up that old sheet of paper, throw it in the bin, and don't look back. You got this. I'm here for you. If you want to book a reading, if you want to book an astrology, like a tarot reading, astrology reading, a coaching session, I got you. Go to my website because it is up. I'm going to put it here in the description, on the screen, whatever. And, just book with me. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much